you. Thank you for being here. We're going to start our town hall. Please continue to actively send your questions in the chat. I know that Dana will help me. Welcome to spring semester. We are so excited for you to be here with us. For those of you all who have been on campus, we are so excited to have you. I'm so excited to see the students moving around. Thank you to the team for making sure that we are nice and clean and ready. We have N95 masks at the front desk at both entrances. If you need to have that, we are definitely have plenty of PPE. And we are moving along. We have 15 Fridays until commencement and the end of the semester. And many people do not like that I count my Fridays, but I will tell you that I do it because I like to know that we are moving ahead to the greatest day of the semester. And that's when we graduate our students. So welcome, welcome, welcome to spring semester. In this town hall, we're gonna have a presentation from VP Karen Williams and Provost Derek Brazil. And we also will have some facility updates from VP Charles Bozian. I want to say that those of you all who have been here, thank you for making sure that our students and staff and faculty as a community embrace the fact that we are trying our best to be as much in person as possible, and that we continue to have mental health services and support for the students. We continue to have virtual athletic activities for the students. We continue to have all kinds of support for the students as we try to move them along. When you walk through our front door, we have a pilot, what we say a pilot and a beginning of a wonderful welcome center / one-stop center. That is where you should direct all students that have questions so they can be triaged to the next place. We are making sure that entry to campus issues are resolved that way. Answers to vaccination upload are resolved that way, and the other garden variety, bursar, financial aid, any other questions that you may have. Please encourage the students to stop at the Welcome Center. It is to the left when you walk through the front Guy Brewer door. I'm sure VP Charles will tell you later about our ADA door project that will be going on for about the next, I would say, year. We will have all of our doors ADA compliant and replaced, hopefully by next fall, but he'll tell you a little bit more about that. But we're excited. It will put us in a position where you may be inconvenienced a little here and there. But as you will hear, we have quite a few projects going on here at York College, and we cannot get where we want to go as far as our facilities without a little bit of discomfort. So I will thank you in advance for your patience, because when I arrived here in the fall of 19, I had several people say, there are several facility projects that are on hold. There are several things that are not done. And the only way for us to get our facilities and physical area clean, neat, and up to grade is for all of us to be patient and understand there may be some inconvenience here and there. I want to give a shout out to VP Lori, AVP of Lori Hefner for all of her work to keep us on the straight and narrow path for our strategic plan. As a reminder, you cannot get anywhere if you don't know where you're going. We have a plan. It's very clear. We know what we're supposed to be doing. I have been talking to my team a lot lately about not getting distracted by the drama and the trauma of COVID. It is very easy for it to happen. It's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to many of you all. It is all consuming. COVID has put us in a place of great loss, great trauma, and we have had to be very nimble. But I want to thank Dr. Hefner and her team for providing us with data and information that keeps us focused on our strategic plan, as we must. We have to push ahead. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to each of our academic department chairs and to both of our deans, and of course to our wonderful provost for making sure that we were ready for the academic endeavor of this semester. There was a lot that had to happen in a very small amount of time. So thank you to each of you for being nimble and flexible. I want to also thank our COVID coordinator and our COVID liaison, Dana Trimboli and Claudio Lindo, for all their work managing COVID, and having the relationship that we have had to have with CUNY Central has been absolutely, absolutely the most important thing in many ways for us as a campus. And we have been represented well by Dana and Claudia. So thank you, thank you, thank you for all that you all have been doing. If you have not checked out the website, please do check out the website. I've been telling people to update their websites and make sure that they are relevant to today and right now. I've also been saying to people, if your offices are closed for remote work or you have a different schedule, please post that outside on the door. I still do not see enough information on people's doors about office hours. So please, 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 for the sake of the students and the community, please, please be sure that people know where you're going to be and how you're going to be serving the campus. So I'm going to stop right now and hand it over if VP Karen and the provost are ready to do their presentation, and then we'll go to VP Charles, and then I'll come back. That sound okay? Thank you.
Thank you, President, and thank all of the participants here for sparing your time to have us give you a little presentation about what our ideas are and our goals are around enrollment management and how enrollment management and student affairs, which is handled by VP Karen Williams, and academic affairs handled by me, are partnering to improve the experiences and therefore the enrollment of our students. So if I can go ahead and share my screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, Provost, thank you.
Great, thank you. So the whole goal of this partnership is to improve enrollment management through student engagement. And so when we decided to take a look at this, we wanted to take a holistic, concerted attempt at improving our enrollment management. And so what we did was we looked at what are the keys to student success? What are the things that have been shown to allow a student to succeed and graduate in a timely manner? And it really boils down to three things. One, providing them with academic momentum, simply meaning that they get a good, strong, solid foundational start to their experience at college. Giving them a sense of integration and belonging, again, making them feel like they're part of a community, the York community, and then providing them with timely and relevant support. So whenever a student needs something, they know where to get it and they know how to get it, and they get whatever work they need to get done. And so I'm going to go ahead and start talking about what our plans and our goals are for improving enrollment management through academic momentum. And then VP Karen Williams will take on integration and belonging and timely and relevant supports. So in terms of improving our enrollment management through academic momentum, again, the idea is to get the students off with a strong start. And so that really comes down to initially, once the student gets accepted, reaching out to the parent and the families of those with communications, again, to bring everyone in. The next thing would be make sure that they get timely and relevant advisement so that, again, they know what courses they need to take, they get registered for those courses, and then they're able to actually start the ground running. A summer bridge program, again, the idea that some students may need a little bit of an assistance to learn how to be a good student or may need some academic support. And so we want to provide those students who are coming in with whatever academic needs they have. And we already have these things in place in terms of booster programs for math and English. What we want to do is make this part of, again, a concerted effort and a concerted program to make sure that we are able to focus our efforts to maximize the number of students who can take place and take part in the summer bridge. And then finally, the other key part to improving academic momentum is, again, providing those students with the academic skills and personal development that they need to transition from being a high school student to being an effective college student. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Vice President Karen Williams.
Thank you, Provost. So from here, what we understand with new students, what's important is to foster a sense of integration and belonging as early as possible and being relentless in doing so. And so the focus of the orientation program will be, yes, to inform and introduce the students to your college, but then also really begin doubling down on the message of success and what it takes to be successful in school. The skills, the study skills and the discussion around how many hours students should be studying per week, per class in order to be successful. things like time management, certainly a focus on clear communication with faculty. And that orientation should lead seamlessly into the first year experience, where the focus will be on peer mentoring, co-curricular programming, and online-based cohort groups by academic interest, which would actually really begin shortly after a student has committed to the college. Looking at this, the goal of the first year would be to foster, again, a sense of belonging, but to also help identify early indicators of issues of concern that may hinder their academic success and jump on it immediately. We have the resources in place, we have the faculty support in place, resources through student services to really get ahead of concerns before they take the students off track. And also really working with our students to help them navigate the system here and learn how to advocate for themselves. Moving into the second year experience, if we can mute, that would be great. Thank you. So moving into the second year experience, it's a continuation of the first year. Being intentional and deep with the process of integrating students into York, with a focus on continuous recruitment of our current students. I think it is sort of easy to get really focused on brand new students, which is really important, but the retention work that really fosters student success is around intentionally recruiting our students to have them continue on every single year. And so the focus of the second year will be engaging students with academic departments, again, in an intentional way. So looking at career exploration and professional development, looking at opportunities for experiential learning, attending departmental events, whether they're seminars, information sessions, or even exhibition of student work. It allows students to really look at what is going to be required of the major, what is a student looking at in terms of their overall professional goals, and making those intentional matches earlier. The goal really would be also to have a focus on wellness, because the data that we are seeing for new students coming out over the last couple of years from the DOE to CUNY is that significant resources are needed to foster student wellness, mental health wellness, and again, supports around just basic daily living, because again, we're seeing some of those issues take our students off track. So I will stop there, and Provost, I think, I don't know if there are any questions in the chat because I can only see myself right now. But that concludes our presentation on our next steps and our vision for supporting continuous student enrollment and student success. Thank you.
Thank you both for your presentation. There are no questions right now, VP Karen, but what I will say is I appreciate you framing this conversation and you all being partners, and I will ask that you repeat everywhere you can, both of you, and share it with as many people as possible. And then when there is work being done that's connected to this, just keep reminding people that this is the framework that you're going to be using. So I appreciate that. All right, VP Charles, you have facilities updates for us and other things?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. So a few things going on campus. I know we celebrated the 7 capital projects completion back in December, but there are actually 13 capital projects that are either in progress or about to be launched across campus. And the most visible right now of which is the ADA door project, which will endeavor to replace the 4 entrance doorways in the academic core building over the next 9 months. We are hoping to have it ready, completed by the start of the fall semester. Fingers crossed on that. So right now the Liberty Avenue exit is closed, entrance is closed. and they are busy installing turnstiles and doors there. Next will be the 160th Street and Union Hall entrances, which will be done simultaneously. And then lastly, over the summer, the Guy Brewer entrance will be closed and will take approximately 2 to 3 months to replace those and install turnstiles. Upon completion of all that, depending upon the age of your ID card, you may need a new ID card. So there'll be more of that as we get closer to it. And we'll have a plan in place for new issuance of IDs and replacements as needed. So that will be a little bit of a process going into the fall. As I said, there's many other projects in the planning stages. The next, I think, major project to kick off is replacement of the entire roof in the academic core building. That'll be approximately a 2-year project, but it'll be a nice day, the day when it rains heavily and we don't see garbage cans scattered throughout the halls collecting leaks and water. So very much look forward to the completion of that project. Like I said, I'm not going to go through all the projects. You'll hear more about them as they come online. The last thing I'd like to point out is we launched the virtual escort on the Cardinal app. That launched last week. It is a button on the Cardinal app that when you press that button, it immediately connects you by a Zoom call to a public safety. Public safety dispatch desk is manned 24/7, 365, and it will allow the user to immediately connect with public safety and walk on their walk to the subway or to a bus stop or while they're waiting for a bus. To be continuously connected to public safety, and if there's any issues to get help ASAP. So we thought that was a good feature, and that's been in development for a few months. And we hope that folks will utilize that. Take a minute to take a look at it, get it loaded up on the app. I believe you have to download the Zoom app from the App Store. It's totally free, but you need to get that set up. And then utilize that. We can have many simultaneous users, so that's not an issue, but certainly will be very beneficial to folks walking, especially after dark, to the train or bus stop. I don't know. Let me take a look at the questions here.
Charles, there may be a relevant question to you in the chat from Scott about the library needing help closing. I'm not sure what kind of help, but they said when we call public safety, but the officers aren't coming. So Scott, maybe you can put in the chat what kind of help you need at the end of the day. Is it escort help, like for folks leaving the building, or is it getting folks to leave the library? If you can be a little bit more specific, we can try to answer that. I think that may be the only question, Charles, for you in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, Scott, if you could reach out to me directly, we can address that specifically with public safety. I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to. I'm happy to help you.
Charles, there's a follow-up question. Do you have a timeline for the 160th entrance from the subway being open after 6 or 6 p.m.?
So the
6 p.m.
So the 168th Street entrance is closed after 6. It is not well lit. It is not guarded. We do not have a public safety to be able to be stationed there after dark. That entrance will actually be undergoing significant renovation starting in a fairly short time. And with new lighting, new pavement, a lot of new features going in there. When that work, and that entrance will be closed during that time completely. And that will not be open during the day at all. When that is completed, when that work is completed, there will be a guard station there as long as that gate is opened. But for the time being, we do not plan on opening that gate. The 160th Street entrance after 6. We just simply don't have the staff, and I will not open it without a public safety officer stationed there.
Charles, there's also a question about about vent cleaning. I don't know if the individual wants to maybe send a specific office that there's a concern about, that might be helpful, and somebody from the team can follow up.
Yes, happy to. We've done significant vent cleaning throughout all of the buildings, but happy to follow up with any specific locations if we've missed something or whatever, but we have addressed that across campus.
Okay, and there's, Charles, I don't know if you want to manage this, or maybe Russell, there's a question about the latest about the football stadium being built.
I think I can jump in on that.
Well, I can. Yeah, I can.
Go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
at this point, the groundbreaking, we're expecting the groundbreaking in June, with the first games scheduled to be played next spring, a year from March. They are still going through the planning and permitting process, but we're with fingers crossed. We're hopeful that groundbreaking is scheduled for mid-June, with completion for next spring.
I think that might be it. There's a room number I've written down about vent follow-up, so I can share that. There's a question about, are there a certain amount of agents, I think means security folks, for night classes? Reason, I had a class last night and the professor called for someone to open up the room, but no one ever came. The class next to us was open. What's the protocol for the agents to have the classrooms open prior to class, or someone to open the classrooms for professors?
The protocol is, with a call, typically someone is there within 5 minutes. I don't know the specifics of this particular incident. We have granted access. I'm not sure what room it was or what type of room it was, or if there was a problem with that particular lock, but we've had extensive work done on locks. We've granted access to many people across campus, both adjuncts and full-time faculty, in terms of their ID cards accessing all rooms on campus. So can't again speak the specific issue that they had here, but we have added additional resources and have been very responsive. And frankly, we haven't heard the issue that you're bringing up. We haven't heard that complaint in the last week. We really have been granted a significant amount of access across the board to folks. So I'm just interested to hear what time the class was and what time the call was placed, and I can do a follow-up with that.
Okay, thank you, Charles. Dana will keep an eye on the chat. Those members of the leadership team who can answer a question, please go ahead and do so. Thank you for doing that already. I appreciate you. Thank you, Charles, for all the hard work and for keeping our projects moving along. We appreciate your team. I know it's more than a notion, so thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, Dana, do you have a COVID update of any sort? You may not have one. Do you have anything?
We do. We have a question in the chat, though.
Okay.
This may be more for our academic affairs colleagues on the chat. Why is your college not providing more master's programs compared with other Queens colleges or any other CUNY college? This question, well, it says that this question goes to the president, but I'm not sure if anyone on the academic team can help answer that as well.
So I think I'll go first, and then I actually may ask Dr. Hefner to give a little bit of context if helpful. And then Provost, I'll come to you. So the academic offerings of the college are those that are designated by the faculty and the department of chairs in concert with the Office of Academic Affairs. Our current graduate programs are diverse in their history and their formation. The growth of the college really, quite honestly, has to do with the leadership at hand at the moment and the direction that the college was going at the moment. Our current graduate offerings have been with us for a little while. Graduate programs have a lot to do with supply and demand. Do you actually have a market for it? Is the faculty interested in doing it? Are we positioned in capacity to actually have the program? So there are a lot of factors. Lori, do you want to speak to the data piece of this? Thank you.
So essentially, the president is right. Everything that she has said about the reasons for having a program in terms of the capacity, we want to make sure that we don't stretch ourselves too thin. We are classified as a primarily undergraduate institution with a few master's programs. To stay within that realm, we would try to ensure that the programs stay within the current fit. We probably wouldn't do astrophysicists in our programs. So it would have to be within our existing model as well. And again, as the president said, that's all based on capacity, the faculty, the skill set, the number of programs we have, the types of programs, whether laboratory space is required, whether experiential learning opportunities are required, i.e. clinical. So all of that would have to go in any discussion or consideration for master's programs.
Provost, did you want to add anything on that one? It doesn't matter. Just
the only thing I would add is that we are always open to providing new master's programs. I guess in the recent past, we've created the clinical trial management program and the pharmaceutical business program, because again, we saw those as high interest areas and high growth areas, especially in New York City, where there's a lot of pharma and biotech. So we are, like I said before, very open to having new master's programs. It really is just a matter of gauging interest, both from the faculty standpoint as well as from the general population standpoint. Thank you.
Thank you.
As well as how that fits within CUNY.
Exactly. Anyone else? Dana, how we doing?
So going back a little bit in the chat, there's a question about if the cafe can be open until 6 for students who are coming in from work, later in the day, and a request for some healthier food options at the cafe.
Yeah, so we actually were meeting with the management of the cafe today, and we've asked for it to be extended. I think we in the fall we had extended it to 6, and we will ask that for that again. Obviously, over the break, there was significant reduction in traffic, so they were closing earlier. But yes, we'd like it to stay open till 6. We're also going to be introducing paninis and soups, and then in the next couple of weeks, so that'll offer some variety. I hear what you're saying about a diabetic's nightmare. Salad is the way to go. I'm not sure that we can offer anything much more than salad from a diabetic perspective.
So we have a question about opening the gates that are by the Hwing. So the gates that currently sort of lock folks into a little hallway area when you leave ACOR to Hwing. Charles, I think that might be you again, sorry.
Yeah, so though, we don't have the manpower that obviously leads into both buildings, the ACOR building and the Hwing, and so we would need to post someone there. We don't have the manpower, public safety to open that up, and if it's an emergency, obviously it can be open, but we wouldn't keep that open on a regular basis.
There's a question about, I'll get to the COVID questions in a minute. There's a suggestion about a physical therapy program. There's a suggestion about the cafe being open on Saturdays. There's also a question why York College is not building a separate building for completing master's programs. Not sure if that's a request for a facility with certain things in it that we currently don't have, but I'm hearing that question in the chat. There's a question about random testing. CUNY has increased their expectations around how many folks will be testing. They're hoping to get towards 15 to 20% of the population of CUNY on a weekly basis. New folks are added to the random testing pool every Sunday. The way that it should technically work, depending on the size of your population, you could get called every between 5 and 7 weeks during a semester for random testing, depending on the size of your campus population. So there is a possibility you will be called more than once during a semester. There's a concern in the chat about students with disabilities and their needs not being considered or taken into account. VP Karen, I don't know if you want to respond to that.
I'm trying to figure out what the question actually is. I can definitely understand the concern and the staff needs with regard to that particular office is being addressed. Does that help address the concern? If it doesn't, you can always come see me. I'm here in the office in student affairs. Or you can write to me and I'll send my, and I'll respond to you via email, if that helps as well. I probably should use the opportunity as well to introduce Dean James Salnov, who will be working with the area directly, so he can also be a resource with regard to students with disabilities. So I'll put both of our contact information in the chat. Thank you.
There's some feedback in the chat about some healthier food options, as well as a request for halal and kosher options. Let's see. I think we've addressed all the questions that are currently in the chat. I'm going to look one more time.
Thank you. While you do that, Dana, just let me give an update to everybody regarding commencement. We are planning and hoping for an in-person commencement. Those details will be out to the campus as soon as we confirm location and plan, and there will be a commencement website, and we hope to have at least a week and a half or 2 weeks of senior activities planned by a variety of places, spaces, and offices. So please stay tuned that we will ask VP Karen and her team to push that information out over and over again on the Cardinal app and in other places once we get that information, okay? Let me also overemphasize that the cafe is an interim fix to a long-term issue. You all know that we very much wanted our full cafeteria to be open. It was closed prior to my arrival, or right at my arrival. And then CUNY was engaged in a conversation about having one food vendor. That did not commence with a contract. And so now we are in limbo to some extent. And we are using the cafe as the Cardinal Cafe as our place. But I am hopeful that in the future, we will have an opportunity for there to be possibly some food trucks in the parking lot, or we will find other innovative ways to have other food here on campus for the community. Thank you. Let's see. Okay. Danny, you good?
I don't see any additional questions in the chat at this time.
Okay, great. So we have food update, a commencement update, a facilities update, a student success update from the provost and VP Karen. Talked a little bit about the strategic plan. What else? We did talk our gala. Do you want to say a little bit about the gala, Dana, and advancement?
Sure. I also can, I can start by just mentioning a few things about COVID. Folks are continuing to random test on campus. Claudio, Lindau, and I, along with health services and HR, continue to troubleshoot some folks who are having some issues, either that they're onboarding or they're transfer students, or we've seen some issues with adjuncts who are at multiple campuses. We need to, we've also been working with folks from RF. There have been some issues with Cleared For about folks having multiple accounts with RF. And so we've been, multiple accounts, meaning you have a campus account and you have an RF account, and that's caused some trouble for folks. As a reminder, if you are selected to random test, you have 7 days to test and still have access to campus. You only don't have access to campus when you've allowed that 7 days to pass and you have not gotten tested. So there's been some misinformation that as soon as you get an email about a random test, that you don't have access. And that is not the case. You have the time. It's really important that you make sure that you are receiving the emails and you check your emails. When folks completed their cleared for platforms, they didn't want to share cell phone numbers. They were a little hesitant, and some folks did not put the most accurate email information. In order for you to get access to testing and notifications, that information has to be accurate. So if you're concerned about it, you should definitely think about double checking that. We are encouraging through posters, social media, the app, and email, when students become eligible, they should get boosted. It is important for students to get boosted because it will impact their ability to register for summer and fall classes if they are eligible for the booster and have not received it. So there's a question, when the 7-day window has passed, how many days before returning to campus does someone need to test? So once your pass is revoked, you have to test to get back on campus. And it could take between 24 and 48 hours for a test result to come in. I hope that's helpful. Scott, you should be checking your college email for the random testing information. So we've continued to troubleshoot folks that are having problems. As a reminder, if you have tested positive in the past 90 days and are concerned about being random tested because you are still testing positive on a PCR test, you can reach out to Health Services or HR, Jesse Staten, and they will be able to help facilitate you being removed from the pool for a period of time so that your 90-day period will expire and you don't have to worry about being tested and testing positive. So I think what's really important as well, Scott is saying that we have a librarian who got that random testing at an old non-working email. The problem is that non-working email is in CUNY First somewhere. If that was put down as a preferred email on your CUNY First account or entered when you registered for cleared for, that's where you're going to get the emails. So if you haven't taken a look at your CUNY First information and what's in the system, it's an old Hotmail, Gmail, AOL, however many years ago you started CUNY, check those emails. It's important because that's where you're getting information. They're sending it to preferred and alternate emails. Student in a chat who looks like they have a really specific issue that needs to be addressed. Someone will respond to you in the chat about that. As a reminder, masks are required on campus, well-fitted masks, and N95s are available at the public safety stations if you find yourself without a mask or one that fits properly while you're on campus. And as a reminder, if you are religious or medically exempt as a student, you need to be testing every 7 days to maintain your access. So please be sure you've received several notices from Health Services. Important that you follow up on those. As per the Chancellor's email last week, there are negotiations underway with faculty and staff unions and entities surrounding a mandate for those groups, and more information will be available. And as that information becomes available, it will be shared from both central office and the campus.
Let's just keep reminding people to please send students to the Welcome Center if they have a question. And that is where you can get your answers and or you can be triaged to the other place that you need to go.
We have a Bursar question in the chat. Can anyone tell me when the last day that I need to pay for the bill I owe York? Somebody will respond to you, Bernadette.
Maybe we'll put the website for the bursar's office or the registrar's office, either one, where that would be. All right, other questions?
I can actually just give some brief advancement updates. Thanks to the generosity of the campus, our Day of Giving in December was a tremendous success. The college has been participating 6 years, and we raised almost $150,000, which was the largest amount that we have raised to date for Day of Giving. So thank you to everyone who donated through a one-time donation, a recurring donation through payroll, or any other way. Please save the date. We do plan for an in-person gala at the TWA Hotel on April 13th. We have a fundraising goal of about $250,000, which we hope to exceed. We again, are looking at strategic priorities, but specifically, we want to continue to think about how we can use those funds to support faculty development and support, further development of the One-Stop Welcome Center, campus beautification, and some student programs that we're still fleshing out. We also are really excited in advancement that we have put forward several changes to improve foundation board operations. We've improved practices on board recruitment and nominations and committee structures. We've recruited and appointed 9 new board of directors, including a board chair, based on a board evaluation, diversity, and skills assessment. We've implemented a new board portal that allows folks to securely organize and share and collaborate on board documents electronically. And we have been working with a foundation attorney to review and revise governance documents. We are also working with several organizations to create partnerships that focus on workforce development, mentorship opportunities, and community engagement. So I'm really grateful for the opportunity to do this work. And thank you again for your contributions to Day of Giving. And I look forward to sharing more about the gala as the semester progresses.
All right, I'll let everybody look at the chat one more time. I think there's a little something there about the, I don't know what's going on. There's a few comments about the Welcome Center and other things. So thank you for your participation so far. I hope that you're getting your answers. I hope that that if you have COVID-related questions, you will continue to reach out to Claudio and to Dana. They represent us at the CUNY meetings. I will also make sure that they give updates at our Senate meeting and at a meeting of our PMB sometime in the future. I try to make sure that people move around and see each other. So thank you so much. And thank you for the questions about tutoring. Are there any other? And remember that our please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Mute yourself. Thank you. Please remember these meetings are recorded and they are posted. So then all of the ones that we have had since COVID started are posted. You can go back. There's a lot of really good information. And if not, reach out to somebody in one of the offices or go to the Welcome Center to get your questions answered. And again, we hope that the website has been helpful for you all, right? And that all of the other information has been helpful and that people understand that our goal is our health and safety, but also first and foremost, the experience of our campus as we continue to dedicate ourselves to the success of our students. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. The campus access procedure was just listed and we did send several emails and we have sent several communications over and over again about entry to campus, vaccination, and random testing. So the information we are going to do our best to repeat. I think that people like to not look at emails, I guess, but we're going to keep on pushing it, right? And we'll put the information on the Cardinal app. Carl, do you have an update for us? No?
Yeah, I just want to share with everybody, our Cardinals continue to compete in the winter sports. Our basketball teams are both having successful seasons so far. They're on track to participate and compete in the playoffs. Please continue to support them, follow them on social media. We are working with administration to implement a limited spectator policy in the coming days. So more information to follow. We have our senior days coming up. Again, we want to do everything we can to support school spirit, to promote York College in the community. And in addition to that, we're working on getting recreation back up and running. Likewise, in the coming weeks, as things hopefully trend in the right direction with the support of administration. So, again, want to share that. Our student athletes are working hard behind the scenes. Just want to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity to see that and support that and share that Cardinal pride. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And we'll be waiting for that update when we can be spectators. We're waiting for the day. So as soon as that
Yes,
information comes
indeed.
out, we will
Thank
share it
you.
with everybody over and over. Thank you, Carl. Thank you. Are there any other questions or updates? Does anybody have an update that they'd like to share? Okay, we're getting there, huh? All right. Let's see. Danny, you see anything
I
else?
have an update for people.
Okay, go ahead,
Actually, a very
Scott.
quick one. The library is starting to think about buying books. So if a student thinks a book is needed in the library or a faculty member, please get in touch with us so that we can look at it and decide whether actually we have the money, first of all, and second of all, if it really would fit into the library, or if we can tell you how else to get it easily.
Fantastic. Thank you, Scott. We appreciate it. We appreciate you. All right, Danny, you see anything else?
I don't see any additional questions in the chat.
Okay. Let's give people a moment to look at the chat and be sure if they have a question, they put it there, right? Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your participation. Our town halls are publicized. We will remind you about the next one. I hope that everybody will stay safe and stay healthy, and we will walk our way into spring, and we will walk our way past the winter weather, and we will hopefully walk our way into more and more and more being back in person. Please, if you have questions or concerns, continue to ask, continue to reach out, continue to ask for help. And I think that we're going to be just fine. We have to keep on moving. That's the best we can do. All right. Thank you, everyone, for all you're doing. Thank you, York family. Have a good day. We won't disconnect until exactly at 1. So if you want to keep chatting on the chat, that's fine. I just wanted to be sure I acknowledged and said thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Be sure that you ask your questions and you keep it going. Send students to the Welcome Center. Be ready to enjoy. We're going to have some student engagement activities over the course of the spring, so that people will
Excuse me,
have a little bit more
President,
lively.
someone asked where you can find the recordings of the town halls.
Oh,
You
I
said they
believe-
were recorded and no one said.
Yes.
That.
Oh, I think Claudio maybe will post. Claudio, where are they posted? I'm sorry.
The recordings will be available at the York College YouTube channel.
Okay, thank you for that.
I'm sorry for interrupting you, President.
No, you're
Thank you.
fine. No, that's how we get the information out. Of course, no worry. All right. People are chatting along, saying thank you. I hope everybody's ready to have a wonderful spring. We will definitely publicize our next town hall.
For those of you who had a question that wasn't addressed or that we missed in the chat, if you want to just put it in the chat before you log off, we'll make sure someone follows up with you.
Thank you, Fabiola, for the question. As I've said several times, we continue to work with the Chancellor's Office on the funding model. VP Charles is serving on a funding model committee where CUNY is looking at the funding model, and he is well aware of the history of York College in that context. And we continue to fight the good fight, right, VP Charles? That's what we're going to do.
Yes, 100%. I'm very well aware and waiting for the next meeting to come up. We've only had one meeting, but certainly it'll be an active committee over the next 6 months to a year.
It is a committee charged by the Chancellor to look at the funding model for all of the colleges. All right, thank you. Our certificate, I will follow up. Okay, very good. And encourage as many students as you can to come to class in person, register for in-person classes. If they can, we want to get back to as much of what is normal as we can. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's really helped me tremendously, especially as being from a transfer from another college. You guys were amazing.
Oh, welcome, welcome. Thank you for that. We appreciate you. Just go get
You guys are fabulous.
Get 10 more people and bring them with you. Thank you for
I
that.
definitely will. Thank you so much, everybody. You guys are, oh my gosh, I went from a heart attack to being so much calmer and so much, well, not be focusing on my classes now. Now I'm like, you know what? Why couldn't BMCC do the same thing? That would be so much better. I had 50 billion questions.
Well, we're not competitive, but there's nobody like us, honey. So,
Tell me
we're so
something.
happy. We're so happy to hear that. Just music to our ears, my darling. Thank you so much. Thank you.
No problem. Have a guys
enjoy yourself.
day.
Enjoy yourself and have a good semester. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right. All right. Okay. Well, we're almost there. Keep on chatting and putting information in. Next time we're together.
Thank you, Madam.
I'm sorry. What's up?
Thank you. Hi, President. How are you?
Hi,
looking
how
forward
are you?
to see you on the next SGA meeting.
I'm looking forward to seeing you. I hope you had a good holiday and everything.
Yes, I did. Thank you. See you later.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
for all your hard work. Take care. Thank you. All right. So Charles, you want to tell people the order about the entrances? The Liberty Street is first. You want to tell people the order?
Yes, Liberty Street is first. We expect that to be closed for about another 2 months.
Okay.
And then next will be the 159th Street and Union Hall. Union Hall generally is not used on a daily basis, but that'll be replaced as well. And then lastly, Guy Brewer. We expect Guy Brewer to happen after the end of the semester, so over the summer. So and at the time that Guy Brewer is closed, we will probably open the Union Hall entrance to facilitate entrance from Archer Avenue. So we'll get that sorted out as we get closer.
Thank you for that. Okay, good deal. And we'll message the campus over and over as we do that so that you'll know ahead of time where you can come in and where you can go out and all that kind of stuff.
Good afternoon.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, good afternoon. I know I have a limited time, but yeah, I was in room 2A04. On Tuesday, we called for technical support. Somebody came, but on Thursday, my professor was not able to get any technical support. We had to use our phones. She tried, reaching somebody to, put the screen on. Nobody ever came. So could somebody please maybe,
What's the professor's name?
I don't. Kirkham, P. Kirkham. It's a class from 9:15 to 10:30, English 240. Should get the projector. She tried. Nobody came.
Okay, Artie, why don't you follow up with VP Karen or with Mr. Claudio? But right there. She put it in the chat. There we go.
Going in and out.
Because you're going in and out. We would have.
Sorry, I know my connection bad.
That's all right. It's okay.
You're fine.
And we're gonna follow up on the room number. It's 2A04.
Yeah, we'll follow
There's
up.
a question, Claudio, there's a question in the chat from Carlos about, it says, I have a question about the video machines in the classroom. I'm not sure if there's a more
Carlos,
specific.
can you? Thank you, Dana. Carlos, can you include the room number that you're referring to? You can also help us by email the help desk.
Oh, he's going.
Carlos, you're breaking up. If you're typing on the chat, perhaps it's going to be a better solution, so I can take note.
All right, let me do that right now. Well, it was a general question. It was a general question. If those video cameras, if the video cameras work, and if I'm not able to attend school, how would the recording or the access occur?
Okay, if I understood correctly, you were asking if the cameras that are set up in the HyFlex rooms and how they work. The professor who is teaching the class has full control over the technology in the room. If the professor enables that class to be taught online or HyFlex in this case and makes those links available to those students who are not on campus, that should work, because that's the idea of the setup of each high flex room.
Thank you for that. Thank you, Archie, for the details. Thank you, everyone. That's good. It's very helpful when you have something like this happen. Email Claudio directly, or email any of us, anybody, with something just like that, and then we will definitely follow up on it. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Of course, of course. Have a good day, darling. Okay, we're at 12:59, so we have Claudio's email in the chat. We're watching the chat. Remember the YouTube channel, all the information is there. I think
I'm sorry, President, please also remember there was a notice that went out to the community. There will be some testing of the fire, safe fire system. So you may be hearing alarms in the next hour or two. The notice was sent out to the community.
Yes, that they should start around 1. Yes.
all right. Thank you. Thank you all for all your hard work, and thank you for doing all that you do. Everybody go and have a great day, all right? And stay safe and stay healthy, okay? See you later. Thank you.
Thank you for coming to Town Hall. Have a great day.